And welcome to another video. I just finished editing this video. This was a quick, what I thought was going to be a quick get ready with me, and turned out to be something a little bit more intense than what I thought. I'm talking about something very personal, something that I really don't talk about. I haven't really spoke about this with friends, and very little with my family. So I am going to go ahead and just warn you, as you guys can see, it's going to be a long video. So go get a snack, go get comfortable, because this is a long video. And now enjoy it. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today's gonna be a bit of a different video. Not so fashiony as what you guys are getting used to here on my channel. I love fashion. I am a fashion girl. I am fashion all the way. I don't know what that means. But I'm also a beauty girl. I really love beauty. I really love having fun trying on different cool makeup looks. But I also want to have a corner where I can sit down and talk to you guys and talk about really important things that I think we should be talking about. I think that pretty much that we should just be talking about what I just said. And I'm just going to be doing my makeup. I'll show you guys what I'm using, what I'm wearing. I'll show you my final look today too as well. But today's mostly about talking, as you guys read, about body positivity and pretty much talking about my dating life. And I have been told so many times to not do this, to not talk about my personal dating life, who I'm dating, who I'm talking to, whatever it may be, because it always kind of comes back and bites you in the butt. You guys. Also, I've been wanting to talk about this for so long, but in my apartment for years, I've been living in this apartment since I was like a sperm cell. And my apartment's haunted, okay? Let's just get to it. I am a true believer of ghosts, spirits, demons. I believe in it all, and I've been wanting to have a section where or a video where I can talk to you guys about my personal experiences with these entities, or whatever it is you want to call them. I've had really crazy close encounters, and freaks me the hell out. Let me know if in another Get Ready With Me you want me to talk about supernatural stuff. I mean, October is like right around the corner. Halloween is coming. Maybe this is the best time for us to talk about it. Anyways, so today's topic, guys, I am going to be talking about who I'm dating, my dating life, my love life, before, now, in the future, and who knows what. So let's just get right into it. So before I do my makeup, I usually always start, I have to moisturize because I have normal to dry skin, and I am really into First Aid Beauty's Ultra Repair Cream. It's super good. I feel like this is something that really genuinely moisturizes my skin. I actually gave this to my sister because I was jumping around from moisturizer to moisturizer, and because I do like to experiment, see if there's something that will work for my skin even better than the product before. So I am currently, I just finished the Glossier moisturizer, which I really did enjoy, but when I came back to this moisturizer, I literally forgot how good this was. Like, this is so good. It really does work for my skin type. Like I said, normal to dry, and I do have rosacea and that other condition that I completely forget all the time, skin condition, which, you know, it's like the redness bumps in your arms, and I have it on my cheeks as well. So that is always affected, and I'm always looking for something that helps me with that. So I moisturize, guys, and then I just kind of tap it into my skin. And I don't really moisturize much in the center of my face. I just, like, whatever's left over, I just kind of like blend it into the center of my face. Especially because, I don't know, I really want to know if you guys have this situation as well. I'm someone who always sweats, but I really don't sweat in my armpits or any other place in my body. I just really sweat in my face. And especially when I use a thick moisturizer, I walk out, and if it's like humid or hot, like, I will look like I just ran a marathon, and it's annoying. Doesn't really mess up with my makeup. My trick is, by the way, guys, if you do go through that, I kind of just let the sweat dry. And I know it sounds disgusting, but it's almost like, think about putting on setting spray and your face is all wet, and then you just kind of let it dry in, and it sinks into your skin again, and then it actually makes your makeup look even better. So there's pros and cons to that. So what I like to start with, you guys, and before I start talking about my dating life, um, is I like to start with my eyebrows. I'm laughing because once you guys start hearing these stories, like, I don't know how much I want to talk about and say. I recently was just dating someone and it didn't work out, and I'm very sad because I really, really, really love this person. And I don't mean like I was in love with this person, but I genuinely love them. Like, I really did care for them, and things didn't go that well. I don't want to say too many details because then you guys will know who that person is, because I'm pretty sure you guys know who that person is. And what I mean is, like, this is a known person, like, in our you know, in our community. So just to respect her privacy, of course. By the way, I am bi. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I am bi, and I didn't really come out per se. I don't know. I just don't like saying come out because I don't feel like I have to come out. Maybe that's very privileged of me, but I've been dating men and women for a bit, and it wasn't until I think it wasn't until 5 years ago, maybe not that, maybe, yeah, like 5 years ago that I started dating women. Like, it was always something like an interest in my head, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to deep. I guess I really knew that I was gay in the back of my head, because I was like, I don't really want to dive deep into that because I might get scared and I might realize things that I already know, but I'm trying to hide. But yeah. Anyways, so you guys, I've never been someone who dated. I guess we should just start into the conversation. Well, by the way, I am using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the color Ebony. So I start tracing my eyebrows, fill them in, and you'll see. So you guys, let me see. I gotta find my lighting to do this. Anyways, and I haven't done my eyebrows in such a long time. I feel like they're looking like a hot mess. And also, I feel like my eyebrows have gotten darker with the years, and I'm really surprised because the younger I was, I look back at pictures and my eyebrows were so light and sparse that it was a nightmare. Anyways, so in high school, I never really dated anyone because I was so uncomfortable with my size and like being fat that I never really dated anyone. I was always very like hidden. I always had like crushes, but I would never pursue anything because I was like, oh, I'm just this like ugly fat chick that no one's gonna talk to. And like, guys, if you're in high school and you're thinking that, trust me, there's someone for everyone. Like, first of all, stop being so mean to yourself. Second of all, there's someone for everyone. The moment that I graduated high school, like 7 million boys came up to me and were like, I'm so sad I never got to talk to you. I really liked you. I had a crush on you. And I was like, fuck you. Where the hell were you when I was like alone in high school while everyone was like dating and like having a great time with their partners? I was like so alone. So I was like, fuck you. And even if someone doesn't like you, like, and you like them, okay, move on. That's life. But yeah. I never really dated because of that. I always felt very, isolated, and I felt like I was such a weirdo for not liking. I mean, I liked people, but there was no one that was like so interested in that I was like, oh my god, I have to date this person. It was just kind of like, yeah, I like them, I think they're cute, whatever. But I never had like, there was this, I'm lying, there was this one boy, and it was a hot mess. Like, I was so awkward, so anxious, and so like not confident that talking to this person made me like physically sick. And then one day so my best friend at that time, she knew that I liked this boy. We all had like a class together. It was one of like the late, like 8th and 9th period, which was one of like the last classes we had together. And she's talking about it, and she mentions it to this other like guy he was like not part of our little friendship, but like we knew him, and we all knew him because he was very loud and like annoying. And then he goes, oh my god, you like this boy? Like, I'm gonna tell him so you guys can get together. And I was like, no, don't do that, don't. I was like panicking, guys. So then right when he says that, the boy comes walking by And I just see him, and I see the other boy, and he starts walking. He calls him. He goes, I was at his name. I mean, he probably doesn't even know I fucking exist or what I do. So he goes, hey, Victor. And then he goes running towards him. I panic the fuck out. I run out of the way and go to down another hallway and down and like trying to go down the stairs. But before you go to the stairs, my high school had like not revolving doors, but like swinging doors. And right when I go around the corner and try to go down the stairs past the revolving doors, a tall ass 6'7" boy that played basketball in my school opens the door, because he was like running around playing, goofing around with his friends, opens the door, hits me in my freaking head. I fall back. I was just so like not cool, guys. Anyway, so I fall back, I like get up and then just continue running, and all I hear is like, oh shit, like what the fuck happened to her? It was just such a hot mess. It was so embarrassing. So that was like the closest thing that I got to dating anyone, and as you can tell, there was no dating at all. But then yeah, and then when I went to college, that's when I started dating a boy that I kind of knew things were gonna work out, but like I was like, oh, let me have my fun, let me experiment, let me like figure out what's gonna happen between. But I in the bottom of my heart, and I remember saying this to myself, I was like, this is not a real thing. This is not going to be like your college sweetheart. Like this is just going to be something for you to experiment, to try things out. I think I'd only kissed like one person at that point, and I was in college. Like I met this random boy on via text, because he hacked into a friend's email, and then he heard my email, and then he ended up texting me, and I mean he heard my voicemail, he ended up texting me, and then we met up, we made out, and that was like probably like the only person I made out in high school. And yeah, because I was just so uncomfortable with myself. Like I couldn't date. I just couldn't like do any of that stuff, because I was like, oh my god, this is gonna lead to sex and people are gonna want to see my body, and I was not comfortable with that at all. So it was just a nightmare all along. And then I was just so very, very awkward. I couldn't I just couldn't talk. Even till this day, talking to men for some reason is just such an uncomfortable situation for me. Like, I understand women completely. Like, I know how they feel. I know, like, every sign. I don't care. I can really talk to any girl in this world. But men, for some reason, I just don't get them. I just really don't get them. Oh my god, it's so gloomy today. I just really don't get them. I don't understand why. I'm gonna try not take forever doing my makeup, you guys, because normally it takes me about like an hour to do my makeup. I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as I can as I talk about my dating life. So I met this boy in college, and he is so smooth. He was so suave and like cute. I thought he was cute, but my sisters thought he was ugly as hell. I thought he was cute, and he was very charming, very like, and I'm someone who is attracted to people who are driven in life, people who have like ambition. That makes me like, you don't have to be rich, you just have to have a lot of ambition and like work hard at something. And I'm like, yes, 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 like I love that. So this person was like that. He was very promising, of like, he looked like he had a very promising future, and he was so ambitious that it made me really, really like attracted to him even more. Anyways, he would talk to me all the time I think we had like a class, sorry. I think we had like a class together, and, we ended up talking. We ended up like, I don't even remember how it happened. I just remember that one day we were just like in his car making out and fooling around, and then we spoke for like a few weeks, or like a couple of weeks, I think. It wasn't even that long, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I was like, yes. Because I really, really did like him, and even though I knew like this wasn't gonna go anywhere, my feelings for him were like growing and growing and growing, and I was so uncomfortable. This is such a personal story, because it really effed me up in so many ways. This guy, we were dating, and I was at the point where I was starting to learn to like appreciate my body, and I was learning about body positivity without knowing what body positivity was. And I was about to start, this is before I even started blogging, you guys. And I remember talking to him about wanting to blog, and he was so dismissive about my like wants and needs and future dreams and things like that, that it made me kind of feel uncomfortable about it, even talking about it to him, because he was like, blogging, like starting a vlog, what is that gonna do? Like, he was just so dismissive, when I'm a person who, like, whether you're my friend, a stranger, or something, whatever it is, I'm going to be like, do it, go for it. I've always been like that. But and he was someone that I cared for, so it really hurt my feelings that he was like, okay, that's so random, it's so stupid, like, don't even waste your time kind of like attitude with me. And he never said those words, but that's exactly how it felt. Oh my god, this eyebrow came out really good. This eyebrow is usually like a pain in the butt. But yeah, I really liked him, and he was very weird, and a lot of people, we had this journalism class together, and I remember a lot of people who would like look at me when I was with him and be like, kind of like do weird faces and kind of want to tell me something, but no one ever said anything. And I didn't know how much of a psycho this kid was. Anyways, to make this long story short, because it's already really, really long, he ends up dumping me after we were dating for like a month or two. I can't even remember. It's probably like a month or something. We were talking for longer than that, but we were like officially like boyfriend girlfriend for like a month. And then he ends up dumping me via messenger, like Facebook Messenger, and he said that it was because how uncomfortable I was to talk about my body, how uncomfortable I was in myself, which was very true. But I don't think it was true. That was true, but the thing is that it was mostly because I was fat. Like, he was trying to beat around the bush and tell me that he was like that he pretty much didn't want to date me because I was, and mind you, it was not like I gained weight or lost it when I was with him. I was literally still the same like size, the same person I was. And that really fucked me up because it just hit me right when I was already in a low point of my life and self-esteem. Like, I was just about to like grasp onto the idea of like being able to like myself, and then he came and just like kicked me when I was down, and it really fucked me up. But I'm such a proud person that I never told him that that's exactly what had happened. And I met up with him a couple of times after that, like after being in college. It was just so bad, like such a bad experience. Like, I got off the, because then I was so mad when he messaged me that I was like, I got off the phone, and I was like, and I called him and I was like, I want you to say it to, like, not to my face because obviously we were on the phone, but like, I want to hear you say what you want to say, what you have to say. And he was like, there's nothing I need to say, like I already said. And I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right, there's nothing else to say, goodbye. I don't no longer want to talk to you, whatever. And then I hung up, and then he was trying to text me, but I was trying to like act like so cold about it because that's the kind of person I am. Like, the moment that in a relationship someone shuts me down like that, or not like that, but like someone is like, if you like dump me, then you dump me, and then that's it. I don't want to talk to you anymore because you decided not to be with me, unless like I genuinely thought we were going to be in a friendship or something like that. But with him, I couldn't see us being friends at all. Anyways, it's raining. Anyways, he ends up like trying to talk to me again. That night I just spent crying to my sisters and telling them like what had happened, and I can see how sad they were for me. And the thing is that that was like the first time I ever had any interest in a boy or in anyone, that it was just so, like, that pain was so real. Like, the first heartbreak, and it wasn't really much heartbreak, it was more like the embarrassment of like being humiliated and being dumped on because of the size of your body, or whatever it is. I know other girls have been dumped on because of the texture of their hair or whatever it is. When it's something personal like that, when it's because of your appearance, it's just so, it's like being stepped on in every way. Like, it really, really hurt me. But I use all of that as motivation to like be a better person and like learn to love myself, because instead of like hating myself and going down that path, there was two ways I could have gone. I could have gone completely like miserable, hate my body, hate my life, and hide and wear big baggy clothes for the rest of my life and never want to be seen again. Or I could have gone with the complete opposite. You're not going to tell me how I'm supposed to feel about my body, and I'm going to prove you wrong. And that's exactly the path that I went. Because right after that, I started going so serious with my block, and I was like, I want nothing to do with anyone. I don't want to date anyone. I need to focus on my career. I need to focus on like who I want to be. He was just kind of telling me how he was mad that I didn't fight to be with him, like, that I should have wanted to be. And I was like, excuse me, I'm not going to be arguing and fighting for you. Like, you're the one who decided to do this. So, like, but I was so cold that he was like, you're this. And I'm such, like, when I'm in a relationship, I'm such a, like, a lovey-dovey person. But that, when that happens, like, I just became so cold. And I was, like, so indifferent to him. Like, I don't know you. I'm so, like, I just put up this hard front. And, like, my walls were up before, but at that point, I just had a whole fucking, like, I don't even know. I had, like, 5 walls on top. Like, it was horrible. Anyways, and then he was like, I can't believe you're, like, so cold. Like, what makes you be like this? And I'm like, you, like, what are you talking about? Next, I'm gonna do next control freak. This is to, like, hold my eyebrows in place. Anyways, he, like, was just so shocked at how cold I was. And I remember this one time we were talking by, like, some stairs next to our classroom, the class that we had together, and the professor walks by and he's, like, crying, begging me, like, to forgive him for what he did. And, like, I think he, like, immediately noticed that it was, like, fucked up to, like, dump me because I was fat, that he was just crying. And then he was like, I have so many, like, feelings for you, this and that. And I remember this professor, which she passed away, and I love her so much, and love her and miss her. She's, like, walking by, and she goes, oh, how are you, Lovebirch, or something like that. Like, she was just trying to be cute and funny, and then she turned around, and, like, my face was, like, so somber and so, like uncomfortable, and his face, he's, like, crying, and she goes, oh shit. So she gets so uncomfortable, and she just, like, walks out. It was the funniest thing in the world. I'll never forget that. Anyway, so she was one of my favorite professors. Anyway, so then he ends up, like, trying to talk to me again, and we, like, it was hard because I had so hard, like, I would never admit it, and I was never, like, lovey-dovey, and I was never the same with him, but I still liked him, and I would end up, like, just, like, making out with him, or, like, fooling around with him, and I never had sex with him, and I'm so happy I didn't, because to me, if you've heard my podcast, The Fat Girls Club, I talk a little bit more about that on our sex episode, and, like, how I waited until, like, recently to have sex for the first time. Like, I was not someone who, like, I became so in love with myself that I knew that I didn't want to just have sex with anyone because I felt pressured to do so. It was more like, I want to do it when I'm ready and with whoever I'm comfortable with. And I did, so I'm very proud of that. So listen to them in the podcast, you guys. It's a really great conversation between Lisa and I. And I was really embarrassed for a long time to admit that I was a virgin for, like, ever. People would just assume that because, of course, of my age, they'd just assume that I was, like, already sexually active, or that I was active, like, in high school or whatever it was. But I was not at all. At all. So, yeah, maybe that's another story time or whatever, like, chatty, get ready with me, that I can talk about my sex life, because it recently started, and yeah. Anyways, so and then this is where it gets dark, and this is where it gets really sad for me. And I know I already mentioned that it was such a hard time for me, but this was, like, the hardest part as a human being, not, like, being in a relationship with him, but a few weeks later, or a month later, or a couple of months later, we had a friend in common, and she tells me that his mother had passed away. And I was still, like, in a painful place that I didn't want to see him, but I knew that my heart was still like, you have to go see if he's okay, because he still wanted to, like, get back with me. But I knew I wasn't, and I knew I wasn't gonna, like, take him serious, and I couldn't take him serious anymore. But that was such a huge thing. Like, his mother just passed away. It was horrible. So I like, called him, and I was gonna go, because this happened, like at 1 a.m. when I found out. And I called him, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, my voice is breaking, because, like, I'm so sad for him, because I was hearing him cry like a little baby, and, like, him begging for his mom, and it really broke my heart. And, like, I was crying too on the phone, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to do. And he, like, asked me to go over to his apartment at that time. It was like 1:30 in the morning. Like, I could have, but I was just still too hurt, and I felt so shitty for that. But I was like, I'm still too hurt, like, I can't I can't be there physically with you because I'm still working on my pain, and I wish I was like a bigger person at that time to like be like, it's not about you, it's about him. Even though he treated you really badly, even though he made you feel like the lowest shit of all the shits, like it was still like so horrible. And then I found out what happened and how his mom passed away. So I'm gonna keep his name completely out of this, and I'm gonna bleep it if I ever mentioned it here. But she went to her country and decided to get lipo, and I had spoken to her on the phone a few times. Oh my god, I'm taking forever. My camera keeps shutting down on me. Anyway, so then I find out that his mother passed away because she went to her home country. And then I found out that his mother passed away because she was getting lipo and something happened, I'm not completely sure, and she passed away during the surgery. And because she wanted to be a thinner woman, she wanted to be someone who was smaller. And crying on the phone, he's telling me and apologizing to me for the way he was with me, or for the reason why he dumped me, and sorry, that fire truck is just... Wow. So he's apologizing, and then he's telling me on the phone and saying, I'm so sorry that no, I'm lying. He never, that's one of the things that really irked me, was that he never really apologized. He was just kind of like, he never said I'm sorry. He never did that. So that was like one of the things that still like just like hurts, is that he never really apologized for doing that. And now I don't expect it, and now I don't want it. But it was just something that at that time he should have, he could have. And then he starts saying, please don't ever change. Don't let anyone ever make you feel little or make you feel less than because of the size of your body or whatever it was. And I just remember and like, as he's saying these words, I'm like, you are the only person in this world who has ever made me feel like less than, and has made me feel so belittled, so humiliated. And it was just such a hard time for him and for me. And it was wild. It was just so, and to have his mom pass away during that time for that reason, for such a fat phobic mentality that he had, also like what he did, that's what I'm talking about. It was just a lot, and it was horrible. It was probably one of like, it was just such a hard experience. Like that was the first time I actually liked someone, and then that happens. So it was a lot for me. And then that really traumatized me and didn't allow me, or didn't let me date for like a long time. Okay, that's a better angle. I'm sorry, the angle was like a little bit off before. Yeah, it was just such a bad situation that I never felt comfortable dating again, and I didn't date for years. And I think I met him like my junior year of college. Like I was already almost out of college, and I just barely started dating or talking to someone, and it was not a great experience. I'm also using concealer, you guys. I cleaned around my eyebrows with this concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers. This is Maybelline's Master Conceal by Face Studio. It's just so great. I really, really like the consistency, the thickness of this concealer. I also am going to put this concealer on my eyelids, blend that out, and then put translucent powder over it to make it be my primer. That's how I prime my eyes, because I've never found any primer that really, really works for me. If you guys have any suggestions, definitely let them in the comment section below, please. I really, really want to know, and I'm really interested in trying different products, so let me know. So that was really a traumatizing experience for me, to have this guy who I really, really liked, the first guy ever, the first time I was ever like naked physically, not completely because I was still very uncomfortable, but that that I was starting to be intimate and to make out, and like he was pretty much almost like almost my first and everything. And the first time I was ever genuinely infatuated with someone, because I definitely wasn't in love, but I was so infatuated with him. Um, and then it ended in such a bad way with him dumping me because I was fat, and then him begging me for forgiveness after his mom, or not begging me for forgiveness, but you know what I was saying, after his mom passed away when she was getting lipo. So it was just so uncomfortable, such an uncomfortable situation for everyone, for every party in there. And till this day, I always felt bad because he pretty much, I don't know how he's doing today. I don't think he's doing great. A funny thing is, one time he had deleted Facebook, but then I saw he had an Instagram page, and he went back to like an old picture from like 3-4 years ago and just left wow on my Instagram page. And I think I was already like, that was not too long ago, it was like a year ago, and I already had like a pretty big following, and like you can see there that I posted pictures of me on a magazine, that there was like, I was doing press and I had a great job and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of like cool to have him see that. It was almost like, there you go, bitch, you know. It felt like that moment of revenge without it being revenge. It just felt good to be able to show him that I was doing so great with what I had told him that I wanted to do, even though he didn't believe in me. And never be with someone who doesn't believe in you, guys. That's literally, your partner should be your number one cheerleader. And then, guys, genuinely for years, I did not date. I did not talk to anyone. I literally avoided, and I mean years, and I wouldn't even flirt with people. So that's why I'm such a bad flirt. Like, I don't know how to flirt with people. Recently, the last person that I dated, she was telling me how, like, bad she wasn't saying how bad I was at flirting, but she was just saying like, you're not really a flirt. And I was like, I don't know how. I've never practiced. I feel like everyone had practiced when they were like in high school and college and all of that. I just didn't, because I've avoided it at all costs. I always get, till this day, I get like a teenager when a cute guy likes me. Like, I'm so fine and chill and I can joke around, and I'm like one of the bros when I'm with guys if I don't like them. But if, like, what I mean by like them, if I don't find them physically attractive, or like anything like that, you know, I'm totally fine. And they usually think, and that's when one of them ends up liking me, when I'm like, I don't really care, and I'm just like one of the bros, just because that's what I've been used to being all my life. And then one of them usually ends up liking me, and then it becomes uncomfortable. But I'm just literally not a flirt. I don't know how to flirt. And then so years pass by, and I remember years go by, and I remember getting random prank phone calls, and I thought it was a co-worker of mine during that time, because this is when I worked in Macy's, and ended up, bottom line being that it was him pranking me, just trying to get my attention. And I do remember, I think he was like not stalking me, but he was like around my area, because I do remember him asking him, I was like, hey, were you driving around my home? Because I remember seeing like a car like yours. And then he was like, oh no, and then he ended up saying like yes a couple times, and I was like, oh wow. Anyways, but this is after, like, I had a random dream about this boy, and then I went to see him because I was like, I hope he's okay. And it was like, why are you doing this? Why are you going back to this person? And he just has such a, he was my first boy that I liked, so he has a special place in my heart and in my brain and like in my trauma. So I couldn't get away from him for so long. And even though that was years later, I was like, I'm never talking to him again, la 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 la. I was saying that like a week before because someone reminded me of him, and then a week later I was like half naked in his apartment, and then I was like, what am I doing? So I ended up leaving right before I think we were gonna have sex, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this, I'm leaving. I wouldn't even want to do that with him, because, and I was still a virgin at that time still, and this was like after college. This video is gonna be so freaking long, you guys. I'm trying to not make it as long, but so I might skip a few steps of my makeup look. But anyways, now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Morphe palette, Dare to Create. It's literally my favorite palette. I take it everywhere. Even when I travel, I put it in my luggage. It's just so great. The little black one broke, so I'm sad, but I don't really use black that much, so I really don't care. I'm just gonna use what I usually do when I'm being like lazy, which is almost every day with my makeup. I just take one of the browns right there in this line. I take one of these browns and I just put it in the crease to kind of create a fake depth in my eye. And then I just do eyeliner, lashes, and I'm done with my eyes. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I think I'm just going to select this brown right here and then just put that in the crease of my eyes. So you guys can see I just added a little bit of brown right here in the crease, and all I do is like blend that out. I'm doing it on the other eye now. But yeah, that was such a traumatizing experience for me. Like for my first, you know, dating experience or whatever, my first boyfriend was so traumatizing that I didn't date for like 3, 4, 5 years after that. It was intense for me. And I was still trying to like learn to like my own body, because what I learned from that experience was that I can't let other people make me feel any type of way about my body. Like I can't expect other people to make me feel good or bad about my body. That's all my job, and like something that I have to do on my own. And it was such a hard lesson to learn, and I know probably some of you guys have had worse experiences. Please write them down below. Let me know that I'm not alone. Let me know if you had any experience close to this one. I really want to read them. I will be answering back. I want us to learn and to talk about this, which is why I'm having this conversation with you guys, is because I want us to remember that we all have experiences like this. Like we all have, especially if you're a plus size person, and it has to do with you being a plus size person. Like if you had a really bad experience dating as a fat woman, then definitely leave it down below. I really want to read it, and I know other girls in this community and other women want to read it and learn about from your experience. And I hope you guys learned something about my experience. And it was just me, what I personally learned was to not let someone else have so much power over how I felt about my body. And I never let that happen again, thank God. And I learned my lesson of learning to appreciate who I am before I date any other person. And then like the other people that I've dated, guys, after that, were really quick and short. I haven't been in a relationship ever since, and I know that sounds a lot like intense, but I really haven't. I've learned that I don't want to be with someone just because I don't want to be single. Like I genuinely want to be with someone that I truly appreciate. I started dating, I guess I can start telling you guys about how I started dating girls. A few years ago, I broke my ankle. I was like 3 years ago. I broke my ankle and I was home for 4 months. And then being home for 4 months, it was really traumatizing. And like, I was thinking about everything that I was missing out on life. Like, I was like, literally, it made me feel like, it was like a wake-up call of doing everything that I wanted to do that I was afraid of. And that's when I started like going crazy and doing videos on for Revelist. That like I got hired right after that. And I also remember thinking like, oh my God, I've always wanted to go on a date with a girl to figure out if I actually do like girls or like what's going on. And I did that immediately after I got off my little boot. I went out on a date with a girl and I had such a great time. And I was like, yep, I like girls. I do them. I do them. I do like girls. And and yeah, you know what I was trying to say. So yeah, and being home for such a long time really made me want to experiment and not miss out on life. There's always this one winged eyeliner that comes out perfectly, and then when I do the other one, it really doesn't. One eye's kind of done. This is literally like my everyday makeup look, you guys. This is what I do all the time. And then I started dating. I went on a date with this girl. It didn't work out. Like it was her first time as well. She was trying to figure out the same situation. But she was like also like in between. I didn't know. I found out later that she was in between. She was like on a break with her boyfriend, and I was like gagging because I was like, ew, you're probably kissing him and then coming and kiss me. And I'm so grossed out by that. Because that'd be horrible for a threesome or anything like that, because I'd be like, ill, no. Anyways, so that happened. Okay, so I finished cleaning the lashes, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add the dual black eyelash glue. So what I do is I also take a little tweezer, and I hold the lashes with the tweezer, and then I apply it on it, and I apply it on my eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick, you guys, because this video is getting way too long. I'll do this off camera. I'll be right back. You guys, I just realized that I stained my nose with something. I don't know. I hope it wasn't like that the entire video. Oh my gosh. Anyways, you guys, now we're gonna move up much faster. I feel like my eyes and my eyebrows over takes the longest. And then talking at the same time was not, you know, making it any easier. So right now we're just gonna jump into my face, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be putting on my foundation, which right now I'm trying out Smashbox Studio Skin. It's a 15-hour wear, and I got this at CurvyCon during Fashion Week, and it was at a beauty event, not CurvyCon, sorry. And I got like matched and everything, and the foundation color that they gave me was 2.1. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply that on my face. I'm gonna put it in the back of my hand. This is usually what I do. And then I'm gonna dab around my face. Let me get my little mirror. Okay, so I always start with like the redness areas. My camera has been turning off so many times, guys, that I don't even know where I left off. I think the last thing I told you guys was that I went on a date with this girl. She was experimenting as well. And I realized that I did like girls, so I started dating girls. And that's the story of that. Recently, oh, and then after that, you guys, like, I would take such long breaks from dating because dating for me is so exhausting. Like, I would end up feeling so physically and emotionally drained after going on dates that I would take really long breaks. Like, I would date quite a bit for like a few weeks or a month, and then not date for like a year. Like, I take a year breaks when I'm dating. It's horrible, I know. I also did an article for Revelist where I think I'm gonna link it down below if I can still have, if it's still up, where I met Rosie Mercado, and she told me that she went on 100 dates because her life coach told her to go on 100 dates to try and figure out who she likes, what she doesn't like, which I thought was like a really good idea. So I decided to do that challenge as well. And even though I didn't go on 100 dates, I went on a lot of dates, mostly with men. I don't know why I can't remember. My timeline is kind of off, so I don't remember if like I was dating girls at that time or not, if I was figuring it out. I don't remember. But that happened. And recently, and then to tell you, last year was the last time, aside from the last person I was dating. Before that, it was a year. Like, I tell you, I like date once a year. And if it doesn't work out, like, it doesn't work out. I don't have the need to look for someone to complete me. I look for someone who can like be a plus, an extra, like the cherry on top on my life, because my life is so great already. Like, I don't need someone to make my life complete. So I got bored one day, and I ended up going on Tinder dates. And for some reason I was popping during these weeks. I don't know what it was, but I was just like matching with a lot of people, and I ended up liking a lot of guys. And I ended up going on dates with one dude that was Ecuadorian, and then some other dude, he was black, and it was just like the best of both worlds. And I was dating them at the same time. I wasn't like cheating on anyone. It was just like going on dates. It got really crazy because for like one weekend, I think I was like having breakfast with one, and then going having dinner with the other, and then the next day having dinner with the other one, and then like it was just like alternating. I was eating real good. Let me tell you something. I was eating real good for that weekend. I ate so good. And it was fun. But then after that, I was so exhausted from dating these guys at the same time that I took another year break. And then that was like last year, and then this year I met this wonderful person who it was just unexpected. When I met her, I wasn't expecting to like anyone. I wasn't expecting to date anyone and to get into a relationship or anything like that. It just literally happened, and that's never happened to me before. And it was the first time that I was ever emotional, and she was someone who was like teaching me how to be emotional. Even though I'm a Cancer, I'm like a complete opposite of a Cancer, I think, because I'm not very emotional when it comes to things like that. I'm very like, because of my experiences, and I hope I really did that story justice, because I feel like I was jumping kind of to like give you all the good points, but there's so many details in between that were intense. I think I'm gonna write a blog post about it so that I can and try and remember as many details as I can, so you guys can get all the juice, the juiciness juice of that. Anyways, I ended up meeting her in a trip. I went on a trip, and we ended up dating, and she lives the other side of the world, and I live on this side of the world. So it didn't pretty much work out, and she holds a big place in my heart, but it just didn't work out because of like distance and like us being in different like places in our lives, and it just didn't work out. So in other words, I'm not dating anyone right now. I'm completely single, like a Pringle, and ready to mingle. But yeah, I'm 20, how old am I? I can't remember if I'm 26 or 28. I think I'm 28 right now, and I just started dating. Like, I'm just starting to like get into relationships and like meet people and stuff like that. So you guys, I don't know if you guys want to hear more about like dating, and should I go on dates and like come and tell you guys about it? Like, what is the deal? What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want me to talk about as well? Are you guys more interested in dating talk and like my relationship talks? And I don't know, maybe this is gonna bite me in the butt, but who knows. So I just finished putting on foundation. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put concealer on under my eyes and in the center of my face, like this. So now I'm just gonna blend in the concealer into my skin, and we're almost pretty much done, you guys. So definitely let me know, you guys, if you guys are more interested in listening more about my dating life and more stories. I really want to talk about ghosts and the supernatural and the paranormal, because that is such a huge part of my life. And I know that sounds weird, but it's just like literally everything I consume, whether it's a movie, a story, a book, it has to do with the paranormal. It's like a dirty little secret of mine, and I don't like to talk about it too much because I feel like people either classify you as a crazy person, they're like, oh my god, this girl is like so full of bullshit, and or you truly believe it and you truly know. Definitely give this a thumbs up, you guys, if you really truly believe in the paranormal, because I really want this to be a place where we can talk about that. I have a lot of ghost stories, a lot of like scary things that have happened, so I really want to talk about it, and I hope that this becomes a place where we can do that. Trying to finish my face as quick as possible so that this video doesn't turn out being like 5 million hours. So once that's blended all out, you guys, I'm gonna just take translucent powder and bake under my eyes. I take this little brush from Dwayne Reed, translucent powder, which is the Airspun translucent powder, and I'm just gonna bake right under. I don't really bake, actually. I'm not, it's not baking, it's just me like setting it setting the concealer under my eyes so that it doesn't crease, and then also so that it lasts much longer. And then whatever's left, I just kind of like put it where I put concealer so that it kind of locks the concealer in. And then I've also been using the e.l.f. Little shadow palette. It's the blush e.l.f. palette, and I'm gonna go ahead and just add some blush. I usually contour, but I don't feel like contouring today. I'm just going to pick, I think, this color right here. I haven't done that color such a long time, so I want to try it out. But yeah, I think I want to start dating people. I'm on apps. I really want someone to set me up on like a blind date, but not really a blind date, because it's such a nightmare to date as a plus size person. One of the scariest things about dating as a plus size person when you're like dating online is like, do they see how fat you are? Like, I don't ever want to be in a situation where I go into a date and they're like, oh, you're bigger than I thought, or whatever it is. So I always make sure that my pictures, I pick my fattest pictures, I feel, for my profiles. Or like, not my fattest pictures, but like the ones that you can really truly see my body, so that it's never a surprise for any of the parties involved. I feel like I'm beating the hell out of my face because I'm trying to do this so quickly. When I don't do contour, I kind of go a little heavier on my blush, because one, it fades really quickly on my skin. The makeup settles so nicely that no matter what product it is, that it never looks as intense as it looks right now, you guys. I'm sorry that this lighting has been so bad. I'm literally just here doing my makeup in my couch. Usually this is how I would do it, like in my bed, on my couch, on my table, watching TV. But instead of watching TV, I decided to talk to you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is the makeup section of this video. I'm pretty much almost done. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and top this all up with a little bit of highlighter. I feel like highlighter covers all the imperfections that are in my makeup skills, pretty much. Where is it? Okay. Right now I am trying out the Bare Minerals highlighter right here. Hold on. So now I'm gonna try out the Bare Minerals highlighter in the color Whimsy. So what I do, I kind of have to shake it because it has a lot of like water in it, and I just dab like a little dot in the back of my hand, and I play along, like blend it out there, and then I apply it on the top parts of my cheeks. And I do that on both sides of my face. And then I also do that on the center of my nose and on my Cupid's bow, which you guys already know. Everyone's seen so many makeup videos, so we already know what to do, right? I see the little notification saying that it's like overheating, and I know it's gonna shut down in any second on me. Because I can never have enough highlighter, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my highlight with this cute little brush that I have from B&H Cosmetics, you guys. And then this is Becca's highlighter in the shade Opal. There we go. It's very well, guys, look at this. It's very loved. I use this every day, literally every day, ever since I got it. And thank you, Becca, for sending it over. I'm obsessed with them. Your highlighters, they're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh. Do you guys want me to post? I also wondered if you guys want me to post much more often. Do you guys are interested in posting a lot more often, seeing my videos more often? How many videos do you want to see? 2, 3 videos? I'm still trying to think if I want to try vlogging every day for a week or something like that. That means that the vlogs might be shorter. but hopefully fun. Here we go, you guys. My face is pretty much done. I'm gonna put on some lipstick and we are good to go. And to be honest, it's not really gonna be lipstick. I'm gonna be putting on lip liner, which is my favorite thing to do. It just lasts longer. And I'm gonna be trying at ASOS lip liner, this lip pencil in the shade, I don't think it says the shade. It's almost like this like nudie brown color from ASOS, and oh, and the color's Sorted, I think that's what it is. Go ahead and put that lip liner on, and we're pretty much done with my makeup. Alright, you guys, so this is the final look. I straightened my hair up a little bit. I finished putting on my lip liner. I put on this floral dress, which I wore for my week of wearing ModCloth. I'm wearing it with a leather jacket, and then I paired it with some white boots, and yeah, kind of kept it simple, kind of transitioning this gorgeous little dress for the fall. It's raining so hard right now, so yeah, I'm gonna head out to Wingstop with my brother. We've been craving wings, so we're gonna head over there right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you like this kind of video, if this is something that you guys want to see more of. More story times. Hopefully we can talk more about ghosts and dating and other topics and stuff like that. So I feel like this is gonna turn into like my diary, and I'm not mad at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!